Many times when people think about Puget Sound, they start to think of, man, it's got to be expensive. You got to be making a boatload of money. You're going to spend millions on your home to get that waterfront or something really cute and charming. And it's probably just unaffordable.
So in this video, we are going to dive into the 5 most affordable towns in the South Puget Sound area. Each one brings something unique, whether it's quirky history, festival-packed summers, or just good old-fashioned small-town charm. We'll walk you through the vibe, the numbers, and help you find out which town is perfect for you. We're Joe and Charity. We are local realtors, and we help people just like you every week who are trying to make this big decision to move to the Pacific Northwest.
So coming in at number 1 is Shelton. It's about 30 miles away from Olympia, kind of north to northwest, and it is a charmer for sure.
Shelton is steeped in logging history, and it is very proud of it. In fact, when you come into town, you are going to see a giant bandsaw, and that bandsaw has done plenty of work to make the city of Shelton what it is. You're also going to see another giant thing. There's a lot of giant things right when you enter. A giant log, basically the cross-section cut in half, and that's your welcome to Shelton sign. And if you go, you can read some very specific things that are on the front of it. And then the other giant thing you will see is a giant, either a Santa Claus or a Paul Bunyan or some oyster shucking
Apparatus.
yes, like something of that sort, or a giant instrument. I think it's a fiddle, but that announces the Bluegrass Festival. So all of these giant signs, they're 32 feet tall, so you cannot miss them. They basically announce what festival is coming up next.
Now, the festivals are a big part of the local charm that this community holds. And you've got one of them, it's my favorite, is of course Christmas time. So this is Christmas Town, USA. And I think it really has it all. And I don't think you need Paul Bunyan to cut down your Christmas tree, but it might be an option.
I think it's Santa Claus that's helping with the Christmas tree. Paul Bunyan comes later.
That's true. It is true.
But they are kind of all blended together. I think Paul Bunyan looks a little bit like Santa as well.
I mean,
They both have shirts.
they both have beards. And neither one of them are trim and in shape. Paul a little bit more than Santa.
That's true. Back to the Christmas Town Festival. Did you know that they are actually in the Guinness World Book of Records for the most lighted trees in one location at one time?
I did not know that, but if I worked for the power company, I would have.
They made a lot of money that year.
It was a good year for the power company. The festival has parades, bazaars, lots of events for the kids and families, so you're just going to have a great time. Put it on your calendar if you move into this area for sure.
The next one is the Mason County Forest Festival, and this is what Paul Bunyan and his sidekick Blue announce as you are coming into Shelton. And this one has just what you expect, all of the logging events. So you've got axe throwing.
Yep.
Which has become a thing.
Yeah, and there might be a little bit more competition because you're seeing that happen far more often. It's not just darts and bars anymore. You sometimes can get axe throwing, which, hey, it's a lot of fun. It's not that I've tried it as an adult, but as a kid, yes, absolutely.
There's also float parades, high climbing events, and everything you can imagine related to logging.
And of course, there's Oyster Fest, which is great on Puget Sound because we have a lot of those around. And in this one, there's oyster shucking, which is hard to say quickly, for sure, 5 times fast, I bet you'll fail. There's craft beer, there's live music. It's a really fun, lively event for sure.
Yeah, and if you love oysters and you think, man, I could live there and just get my own oysters, yes, you can. And then the next festival that's really big in the area is the Bluegrass Festival, and you've got tons of bands that come in. What an amazing time just listening to bluegrass music while you're out in the woods, out in nature. It's just a perfect combination and such a big fun celebration happening there.
Absolutely. Another wonderful feature of Shelton is it is located in Mason County, and there are over 100 freshwater lakes in the area. Not only do you have Puget Sound where you can get out and kayak or boat or paddleboard, you have these freshwater lakes as well, fishing, all kinds of outdoor activities. It's really amazing.
And then besides the water activities, you've also got some amazing parks. One of the best local parks is right downtown in the Shelton area. It has a really huge structure for kids to play on that is all made out of wood. So it kind of looks like a big log castle. Super fun. And besides that, you have Olympic National Park, which is really close by. And so you can get out into the woods even deeper and climb the mountains and be on the creeks and the rivers and streams. So if you love the outdoors, Shelton is a really ideal location.
So you might be thinking to yourself, I wonder how many people live there and what's the cost of the average home? Great questions. There's around 10,500 people who live in the area. And here's where affordability comes into. The average price is $352,000 for a home. You can definitely get lower than that in some of the surrounding areas outside of Shelton. So be aware of that. It is very affordable community that is right by the water and a delightful outdoor recreational community.
And because there is so much water access both on Puget Sound and also on the lakes, you have an opportunity to get a waterfront property that's more affordable than other areas as well. And there is a lot. I would say you see just as many properties come up on the waterfront in Mason County and Shelton area as we do in the Olympia area. So there's a ton of opportunity there.
What's great about this community is the prices are more affordable for waterfront than you would have in Olympia, definitely for Tacoma, and for sure, Seattle.
So who's gonna love living here? You're gonna love living here if you want affordable living, affordable waterfront living, if you're into festivals and a way to get out and meet with your neighbors, and if you like your town scrappy, scenic, and full of heart. Shelton's the place for you.
Now, if all that water access and waterfront just kind of scares you away and you're thinking, man, I'm not sure I want to be around that much water, well, great. The next location might be perfect for you because it is both small town with a little bit more of an agricultural farming community, and that is Tanino.
Tanino is located about 30 minutes south of Olympia, and it is a town that packs in a lot of personality in its small footprint. And if we could say it's explosive, I think we would be telling the truth, because Tanino is known for its rock quarries, which is where the town was originally formulated and started and what got it going. In fact, one little fun fact about Tanino is that they had the largest explosion in all of Washington, perhaps they say in all of the United States, when they used 50,000 pounds of explosives to basically break some rock apart so they could go build a jetty.
That would be a good day. I would love to watch things blow up like that.
And they actually did have quite a celebration that night with a big feast and everything just to celebrate that giant explosion.
Yeah, and you get the hearing back.
Another thing that Tanino is also known for is their wooden money. During the Great Depression, they actually created some wooden money that could be used in their town, and they reinstituted that during COVID-19 to allow for people that had some needs to have up to $300 in that wooden money. It can still be used at the local stores, and you can trade it in at the city hall for real money. And the coolest thing about it is that wooden money is in the Smithsonian Institute.
That's pretty amazing. Tanino also has some really great events and festivals, one of them being the Oregon Trail Days. This is a fun, explosive event because you have black powder demos, you've got live music happening, you've got a parade that happens that day as well. So it is fun. And I mean, if you want to start your week off with a bang, there you go, literally.
This is another fun fact about Tanino that you probably don't know, and I only know because a friend of mine participated in it, and she, I think, wanted me to come participate, but I didn't. It happens at Halloween, and it is people all over the nation who get together in different cities to dance to Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller, and video themselves, and all together, they actually got themselves in the Guinness World Book of Records. So we've got 2 towns now who participated in things that got them into the Guinness World Book of Records, which is pretty awesome.
It really is. Got it going on in the South Sound. And then, of course, the Railroad Days, which celebrates the town history of being a railroad hub in the 1900s. So a lot of events and festivals happening for you to be able to enjoy, get out, and meet new people.
I love in these small towns that they have these festivals and events that aren't just random, but they really have to do with their history and their roots, and it's so much fun. And even if you live in one town, you can still go participate in the other town's festival.
Okay, we'll let you.
This isn't necessarily one specific event, but Tanino has a creative arts market where they celebrate their creativity with murals, stone carving, which makes sense, the whole quarry thing, and artists and vendors. That's a fun place to get involved with as well. Joe was talking about the agricultural roots of this area, and it really is part of their economy. In fact, part of their planning includes an agricultural center where there will be a slaughterhouse and also an event center. So where can you go and get your meat slaughtered and also have a wedding?
So all I can imagine is that's going to be one killer wedding. That does lead us to some outdoor recreation. So what are you going to do if you're not going to a festival or having one of your cows slaughtered? Well, we have some other options for you.
I would say the biggest attraction in Tanino is the quarry pool, and that is exactly what it sounds like. It's a swimming pool for the community that is made out of a former quarry. And that thing is up to 80 feet deep.
So it is clear. It is really pretty and charming. So don't think to yourself that you look down in murky water and afraid that some fish is going to eat you. Maybe that's my fear and projecting. However, it is really clear and clean, and you'd have a fun time on a hot day, because we do get those hot days in August, and it's worth it.
And it's some cold water.
Very cold water. Then there's also the Tanino Trail, which is 14.5 miles. So if you're thinking to yourself, you want to train for a marathon, run there, run back. You're going to have your training done and be ready for your next marathon.
And you've also got McIntosh Lake right there in Shelton. So you've got opportunity to do a little bit of fishing. And there are waterfront properties right on that. I've helped some clients buy a house right there, and they love the fishing life.
It is. And it's very affordable. I will say very affordable waterfront living. And that brings us to, well, how many people live there and what does it cost to buy a house? Great questions. There is around 1,900 people that live in this community, and the average price is $406,000. This is far more affordable than Olympia, which is around $600,000 for the average price point. And this being, like I said, $406,000, it's a good value, and it is really a charming. I know we're joking around and have a lot of fun with it, but Tanino is a wonderful community, very charming and easy commute into Olympia.
So who's this for? Who's going to like living in it tonight? You're going to like it if you love that agricultural and hometown feel, a little bit of quirky history, some wooden money, and some beautiful architecture. That's because the historical buildings right here in Tanino were carved right out of the stone right there in the quarry. If you want space to breathe or want to be totally off-grid, then this is the place that you probably are going to feel like home.
From the explosive charm of Tanino, we're going to take you to the next place, which is the hallmark charm of Montesano.
Montesano is about 40 miles west of Olympia, and it is in Grays Harbor County. It has that classic American charm. In fact, the name means mountain of health. So if you're looking for a place to just relax and be healthy, this is your spot. Montesano is admired for its clean streets, civic pride, and its beautiful courthouse.
If you do take a tour of the courthouse, you're going to find wonderful vaulted ceilings, amazing stained glass, and if you look close enough, you'll find a bullet hole from an incident years ago. So there's literally stories in the wall.
Montesano, being known for its small town charm, has some wonderful festivals, including the Festival of Lights in December, where they've got tree lighting and parades, and of course, Santa Claus.
You also have the Montesano Car Show with over 200 cars that has live music and food. It is really a lot of fun.
During the summer months, they've also got the local farmers markets and outdoor theaters. So in every season, you've got something participating and a way to get to know your neighbors.
Of course, there are outdoor recreational opportunities. There's some wonderful rivers in the area. The Satsup River, Wainichi, Chehalis River, all of them are great for fishing if that's what you're into. Some wonderful little parks along the rivers as well. So if you want to just have a little picnic and lounge out and play in the water, great opportunities. On top of the Wainichi River is a reservoir that has a large picnic area, great fishing. You can play in the water and do some wonderful hikes. So it is beautiful for sure.
And in addition to that, you've got Lake Sylvia, which is right there in Montesano, 233 acres. You got camping there and fishing and paddleboarding and everything that you could do on the lake, all kinds of trails. So you've got some amazing outdoor opportunities, as well as if you just go a little bit further, you're going to get all the way over to the ocean beaches, and you can continue up around the peninsula and get into the Hoh National Rainforest. So many wonderful opportunities living in this quaint little town.
Montesano's population is just over 4,000 people, and the average price point is $382,000. So it's a very affordable community with so much going on and a lot of charm.
I love Montesano. I, in fact, had never been to the town, even though I've been to most of the towns in the area, until some of my clients wanted to buy a house here. And as soon as I drove into the town, I was thinking, where am I? This is so quaint, so charming, so clean, so pristine. And I was so excited for my clients because they were moving from Tacoma. They wanted to get away from the urban and get to the small town, and they absolutely love it. It's a perfect fit for them. So who's this town going to be a perfect fit for? Somebody like that.
Yeah.
Also for retirees, because it is so quiet and peaceful, and anybody who maybe is working from home and doesn't have to get to a big city. It's just a beautiful spot. And for somebody who just loves outdoor recreation and wants to be close by.
Now, I can't leave this part out because the locals like to joke about you come for vacation and you leave on probation, mainly because it's the courthouse. It's a little tongue-in-cheek there, but it is kind of funny. So I wanted to add that. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, okay, Montesano might not be for me because I would like to live on an island. Well, the next one, shockingly, is very affordable, and it is Anderson Island.
Anderson Island is a short 20-minute ferry out of Stillicum. Now, Stillicum is really close to Tacoma, so it's very accessible and very easy to get to. And this small island has no stoplights. It has one general store, and there are more deer than there are people.
Anderson Island surprisingly has not become more popular. I think this is a charming, peaceful, park-like island that is very affordable. So if that's what you're looking for, you might have found your spot.
Really interesting thing about this island is most of the properties are part of the Riviera Community Club. It's an HOA type club, but it has quite a few amenities. It has an 18-hole golf course. There are 3 lakes. There are campgrounds. There's a marina. There are trails. There is so much to do. Community club, restaurant. So you're not just going to an island with nothing going on, which it sounds like when we introduced it. You do have quite a few things to do. The community club has classes and events going on all the time, and so you can look into their calendar and see exactly what's going on. But besides just the events that are happening with the community club, the island has their own events, and one of them is Anderson Island Historical Society Farm Day, and this features blacksmithing, weaving demos, and tours of old settler buildings, so lots of fun.
For your outdoor recreational activities, you have 3 lakes that you could swim at, kayak, fish at, paddleboard, whatever you're into. You also have launch points into Puget Sound if you want to go kayaking out in the Sound. You have a golf course if you're into that. And there's also just lots of little wonderful trails and walking around in a very peaceful park-like community.
Anderson Island has a year-round population of only 1,300 people. In the summer, it swells to 4,000. There are quite a few people that just have summer houses here. And the price point is so surprising. It's $410,000. And vacant lots are only $10,000. Now that is crazy. I don't know where you can find a vacant lot that's buildable for $10,000. In fact, I have a listing there. So if you're interested, just let me know and I'll get you all the information. There is no other island anywhere in all the Puget Sound that has anything that's affordable. In fact, island living is usually very expensive living.
Yeah. And if you do want to get off the island, spend a little time in Tacoma, have a wonderful day, eat some more food, different types of food that you might not get on the island, and then just jump back on the ferry home. It is really convenient and well located.
So who's this for? Who's going to want to live on Anderson Island? Well, it's going to be somebody who doesn't have to take the ferry back and forth every day. In fact, if you have children, they will have to take the ferry to go to the high school. So that's a consideration for people, which means there are a lot of retirees on this island. It is so peaceful and it is really the retirement life that people dream of. So that is a large part of the population, but also people who can just work remotely. It's perfect for that as well. I think there are probably a lot of introverts that live on the island.
Anderson Island has that Puget Sound island living charm, especially if you're looking for something that's very laid back and peaceful in a park-like setting. This is your spot for sure. However, you might want a little bit more nightlife. You might want to lean into Seattle a little bit more. And when you think about leaning into Seattle, you're thinking that can't be affordable. Oh yes, it can be. And that leads us to our next place, and that is Bremerton.
Bremerton is in Kitsap County. It is not very far away from Gig Harbor. In fact, a lot of our clients who start looking in Gig Harbor soon realize that it's not too much farther and they can get a lot more in Bremerton. Bremerton is also a naval community. There's a large naval military base there, and so there's a lot of naval history there, as well as a museum and all kinds of businesses that support that naval community. And directly connected to the naval base is one of the events, which is the Armed Forces Day Parade. This is the longest lasting and largest parade in the entire country. It's been going on since 1948.
Another wonderful event that happens in the community is the Blackberry Festival. And I love blackberries. They have pie eating contests, live music, and vendors. And if you know anything about the Northwest, blackberries are in abundance, to say the least. And one year, Charity and I picked over 12 gallons of blackberries, of which we made pies and cobblers and jams and literally ate until our faces were blue, which was a lot of fun.
So blackberries are worth celebrating. I'm so glad that Bremerton does that. Another multi-day event that happens is the Downtown Art Walk and the Kitsap Forest Theater. It's a monthly art crawl where you can check out all the local artists, as well as the oldest standing outdoor theater in the country. So we've got a lot of bests and oldest and most wonderful things happening in our area.
Another great feature about Bremerton is its proximity by ferry to Seattle. So it is very easy to jump on the ferry, whether you take your car or just walk onto the fast ferry that takes you to downtown Seattle. Great to catch a weekend game or spend the day in Seattle and then jump back on the ferry without having to find a parking spot, which is very convenient.
Yeah, it's actually our favorite way to go to a game in Seattle because we don't have to deal with driving there and you don't have to deal with parking. It's so much more relaxed. It's also ideal for somebody who doesn't want to pay the prices to live in Seattle and wants to commute. And instead of driving to commute, which everybody has to do in Seattle, you can just take the ferry, read a book, So amazing. And then get to work and then take a relaxing ferry ride home. So it's a pretty cool location.
Of course, being directly on Puget Sound, there are a lot of outdoor activities. There's boating and there's kayaking and paddleboarding, fishing, scuba diving, all of those. But there's also freshwater lakes in the area. So if you don't want to be in the saltwater, you're going to have freshwater opportunities as well.
And you are so close to the Olympic National Park, so you can just head out a little bit further and you will get right there to the park. And you can head all the way around the peninsula and experience all the other wonderful towns and the Olympic Mountains. So many outdoor activities. And nearby, you've got Elahi State Park with over 1,785 feet of waterfront. So lots of beach walking and beach combing, as well as camping and trails to explore.
With all of those wonderful outdoor activities, it's not surprising that it is the largest of the small towns that we're mentioning with 45,000 people. And the great part about that is the average price point is $473,000. And I also have to mention the affordability of waterfront properties. For the mid $700,000, you can have a really cute house on Puget Sound, which is less than a quarter of the price that you pay for the same thing over in Seattle. If that type of home is something that you dreamt of, that dream might be affordable.
So who is this for? Who is going to love living in Bremerton? It's definitely going to be somebody who wants affordable waterfront. It's going to be also members of our naval community. It's also going to be for that person who wants to get to Seattle easily and not have to deal with the commute or deal with the drive or deal with the parking in Seattle. It's great for retirees. It's a wonderful location for anybody who just wants a peaceful place that has a little bit going on, but also has access to a lot going on in Seattle.
So there you have it, our 5 most affordable small towns in the South Puget Sound area. I think there is literally something for everyone, whether it be small town, rural, agricultural, or on the water, there's an option for you that's affordable.
So if any of these sound like a perfect match, then reach out. Use that number below to call us or text us or email us by using the link in the description below. And as always, if you've enjoyed this video, keep watching because the next one we're going to tell you why everyone is moving to Olympia and you perhaps should too.